Hello everybody, my name is Tanya and I am a graduate student at Miami University. As an assignment of my class, today I would like to introduce you to a technology that is used for saving bats. Ladies and gentlemen, I present you with the AnaBat detector. This little box is fantastic to be used out in the field um, to monitor bat activity. As you can see, it has only one knob. The bottom part with the drill holes is a speaker, and the most important part is at the very top of the box is this black part that it's sticking out. This is the microphone that the device uses to listen for the bat calls at night. Ta-da, there it is. The most important part of the whole machine is this microphone, which is extremely sensitive and it's in tune to listen to the ultrasounds that the bats are giving off while flying. No, that is called echolocation. As the bat is flying, it's sending out waves like sonar. The waves are bouncing back and returning to the bat depending on the frequency. It tells the bat if there's an object ahead or not. The same principle with the AnaBat detector. It listens for these sonar, it listens for these waves, it also records them, and it's able to detect the bat activity overhead. This is what a bat call looks like if you look at the frequencies. Now, if we have this file recorded and the software to match it to, which sometimes it's on a computer or it could be on a little PDA that's attached directly to the AnaBat detector, we can actually come up with a chart that looks like this. And this, believe it or not, is the call of the so-called hoary bat. And this is how scientists can match the frequencies and know immediately what kind of bat species are flying overhead and are present in their location. There are very many uses of this device. Some of the examples that I very quickly am going to point out are habitat loss and deforestation. There's an example of a study that I read about the tricolor bat losing its habitat in Nova Scotia, Canada, and they were able to detect that and prove that the bats are not happy due to the human encroachment and deforestation. They're inhabiting different areas. Another example is anytime nowadays, whenever there is a proposal to be for wind turbines to be put up and have a wind farm, people go and they sample to see what is the bat activity in the area. Is it safe to put the wind turbines? Is it not? So this is a very useful tool. Another way that the AnaBat detector is used is for disease spread monitoring. As you guys know, there was the white nose syndrome disease that hit the east coast of United States of America several years ago, I believe in 2006. And since then, our bat population along the east coast has been suffering tremendously. The disease is 100% fatal. So we use bat monitoring to see how many of the bats are surviving and knowing where the disease is spreading apart. Another example will be home range monitoring. Many of the bats hibernate in particular locations, also to be able to detect where they have their colonies or where they have their maternity colonies. So the surveys are done to see where the most activity is in the bats. Life. Another will be survival rate. There's different counts that are done at the beginning of the season and then towards the end of the season, and they compare the results before and after, knowing to see what is the population like and if the pups are surviving or they're not doing good. Another thing that I ran into, um, Many green roof advocates call on these bat surveyors to come out and indeed to take measurement that there is bats that inhabit the roofs, and that is good because they're green roofs. There's a lot of strength to this little device. It is used stationary, or it could be used on the go, meaning that you can have it in your hand, and as you're walking up in the woods and you're hiking up and about, or you're in your neighbor's house that they think that they might have a bat in their yard, you can actually detect that right away. Or if you don't have time to be present, it could be mounted, and it could be stationary, short term or long term, depending on your needs. The AnaBat detector is also able to record any of the calls that it's detecting. There is a little slot for an SD card. So depending on the capacity of your SD card, you can record for up to 4 or 5 hours. I don't think I've done more than 4 hours myself. Another very good thing about this little device is that it comes with its own little PDA, and the PDA automatically uh, gives you several things. Number one, it has a GPS unit, and it tags each single call with the GPS location of where it was found. So you can actually, for certain, 100% certainty, tell at which location what kind of bat species you have detected at the time of your survey. Another great thing is the PDA has a software to immediately tell you what kind of bat activity is detecting overhead. So it is absolutely stunning. You know how there's people that can identify birds by the way of their call? Well, that's exactly what this thing does, except we can't hear the ultra frequencies of the bats. So that's why we need the machines to help us out with this. And of course, it gives us much more accurate count of the species present than using the old-fashioned method of mist netting, if you guys are familiar with that. Here there is an example of a long-term AnaBat detector with a solar panel and a little power source mounted in a glove box. Note that the box is totally waterproof. Some of you might wonder why. On the left side, there is a more temporary kind of a fix where it's in a plastic box, and the little speaker that we talked about is sticking outside of the box so it can detect the sound. The weaknesses of this device is that it's very weather dependent. The microphone cannot get wet. It's the most sensitive part, and without the microphone, pretty much the whole rest of the stuff is useless. So in good weather, this is great to use, or otherwise it has to be waterproof. Another thing is the sensitivity of the microphone may varies depend on the brands and um, who's making it. Detectors often do pick up sounds that are made by insects at night, so that will also kind of crowd the frequencies of your file. And also depending on the position where you are and how you're moving, the angles, there could be some alterations or overlapping with the calls on your file as well. Now, how did I know about it? I live in New Jersey. We're blessed to have the Conserve Wildlife Foundation here, which is a nonprofit organization. In 2001, they started a statewide monitoring program. They wanted to see what is the bat population and how is it distributed throughout the state, which areas are more populated versus areas that are not, and also we wanted what kind of bats live in New Jersey. So this is their website. If you go to Conserve Wildlife of New Jersey.org, you can find all about their acoustic bat monitoring program. And this is I'm showing a map of the routes that we as volunteers, I believe was 32 of us that carried the whole survey throughout the whole state. And one of these little red routes is mine, this particular one right here. I got to tape this AnaBat detector to the roof of my car and drive at 15 miles an hour, recording the bat activities that are happening above my head as I'm driving. Pretty cool. It is fun. Here is a picture of the AnaBat mounted on the top of a car, and another one that is handheld with the PDA attached to top of it, just so you can see as a reference what it looks like. And of course, our research yield results. Um, the state of New Jersey is continuing the bat counts for this year as well. We hope to see increase in bat populations because we know bats are good and we'd like to have more of them. So for me, it was very easy, it was simple, it was very much fun, and of course, it was extremely helpful to our scientists, biologists, and conservationists. So I hope this video will inspire you and maybe you will give it a try next time you have an opportunity. See you later. Thank you.